Hi, my name is Havy Mannion, and I am the U.S. Sales Manager for Foresight. Today, I wanted to tell you about our horse product. So my why. Why am I passionate about Foresight? Because I'm talking about the horse product, I will only tell you about Cuba. Cuba is a horse that I compete on, and he was getting injected every 3 to 4 months. He has been on the product for a year and a half, and he has been injected 1 time. So where does Foresight come from? It is based out of Australia. We are a family-owned company owned by Dan and Karina Bright. We are globally distributed. We've been in the U.S. for a little over 3 years. So what is Dan and Karina's why? Why did they start this product? It was because of Sasha. She was the family dog that got to where her quality of life wasn't good because she was suffering with osteoarthritis. So what is osteoarthritis? It is one of the top 3 most common reasons for elective euthanasia. I will skip to equine since we're talking about the horse product. 60% of lameness in your horse is attributed from osteoarthritis. So the overall thing is that our animals are living longer. With our horses, through vets, we are able to compete longer on them. But we have to figure out how do we fix the effects of osteoarthritis. You have a lot of options. So through a veterinary diagnosis, you have the multimodal approach. So what is the hidden progression of the disease? How does it work? So if you think about your horse's leg, they've got their leg, they've got their joints, the blood flows up and down the leg. Where you run into the problem is where the synovial membrane starts degrading and blood starts going into the joint, into the synovial fluid, which is found here. So this joint right here is very painful. This is what Cuba's hocks looked like. All that blood was in that joint. We were having breakdown. It was hurting. So our product actually targets the synovial membrane and the synovial fluid. So there's a lot of oral joint supplements out there. How do you know which one to use? Do they have a body of evidence? Is it easy to give? Is it expensive? Are there side effects? Is it safe for long-term use? I'm going to go over with you and answer all of these questions. One great thing about our product, it can be used in conjunction with an NSAID or as a standalone product. So our key ingredient is Epitalis. What is that? It is a plant seed oil. We take the oil out of that seed in its raw state. It is a triglyceride. And we have a proprietary process that we change that into a fatty acid. So our product is actual mucosal absorption. So when my horse Cuba, when I give it to him by mouth, the mucous membranes in his mouth and throughout his body, he starts absorbing the product. He does not have to metabolize it. So I'm going to go over with you some high points of some of our research. In 2008, we did a study because our original product had marine Epitalis in it. So we wanted to do a study to break that up and see how everything was working, and we also wanted to compare it to NSAIDs. So this is what we found. The marine in the product, standalone, the anti-inflammatory properties were equivalent to an NSAID. However, they had no effect on the chondrocyte. The chondrocyte is these cells to the cartilage. It didn't help them, didn't hurt them. The NSAID, it had great anti-inflammatory properties. However, the chondrocytes started dying. So then we go to the Epitalis. And this is what we found. The anti-inflammatory properties were equivalent to the Marine and the NSAID in 48 hours. And the chondrocytes started proliferating. These cells to the cartilage were actually growing. So it was at this point that we took the marine components out of our product, and it is only Epitalus. Moving on to 2022 study. Did a study. I know we're talking about horses, but I want to go over this dog study just to give you some additional information on our product. We studied 46 dogs. Our objective data was the gait right. Our subjective was the Helsinki. So the gait right, what is that? So there is a mat. You take the dog on a leash. You walk that dog over the mat 3 times. We did this at day 0 and at day 30. The vet did the analysis on it. We were able to read the total pressure index. So for this particular dog, the back left leg was hurting. They were overcompensating on the front right. The Helsinki, it's going to be a quality of life score. So for Cuba, was he working good? Was he happy? So the owners did this for their dogs. They did it at day 0. They did it at day 30. What we found with these results were very compelling. We found that overall 94% of the dogs had improvement in both areas. But the thing that was key was there were dogs that were on concurrent OA medication, and they had a 71% increase. They got better even on top of that. In 2022, we did another in vivo study, and this one was on horses. This study was done by Dr. Wayne McElraith out of Colorado State University. The investigators feel this is some of the most compelling evidence of the therapeutic effects that have been seen with an oral supplement using this model. So we took the carpal chip model. We surgically induced osteoarthritis into 16 horses. 8 of them were on placebo, 8 of them were on Foresight. We controlled everything over 70 days, their exercise, their feeding, everything. And this is what we found. So PGE2 is found in synovial fluid. So let's talk about Cuba for a second. Cuba, prior to Foresight, was not only getting injected all the time, but he lived on Previcox and Bute. He had horrible ulcers, so he lived on Gastrogard. Our product does not deplete the PGE2 like an NSAID will. It takes it to baseline in 5 weeks. So the animal doesn't need an elevated PGE2, but they don't need it to go away altogether. White blood cell count. So Cuba, he had an elevated white blood cell count because of all the inflammation throughout his body. We actually were able to lower the white blood cell count. Then the mark radiographic changes. You can see here the orange arrow. This is the carpal chip that we induced. White arrow shows all the inflammation. Go to day 70, orange arrow, where's the carpal chip? And then the white arrow, you can see that that inflammation has significantly been reduced. So our horse product, it comes in 2 different sizes. There's a 250 ml, which will last a horse approximately 2 months. There is a liter, which will last a horse approximately 8 months. You do have a syringe. You give it to them directly by mouth. It is an apple flavor. Our instructions on the box are based off of a 1,300-pound horse. So basing it off of that, a horse does need a loading dose if they are having signs of osteoarthritis. So you will start them on 8 mils and then do that for 2 weeks and then go to 4 mils. If you do have a horse that is bigger or smaller, it is 1 mil per 330 pounds. You can also contact me. I can help you figure that. So it does come with the 12 mil syringe. If you happen to need more, we can give you more. The shelf life of the product is 3 years from the manufacturer date. We do guarantee our product. We guarantee the efficacy and the palatability. We are the only product that you will have Epitalus in. We do have a patent on it. We do have 25 years of research. We are endorsed by vets and surgeons. We guarantee our product palatability and efficacy. It is a small cost. At retail, it's going to cost the owner about $1.60 a day for the horse product. If you have any additional questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me on my cell phone or via email. Thank you for your time.